Day 1 through 3. Why through 3? Because apparently staying on target is much harder than I had originally anticipated. I was thinking, oh yeah, 1,667 words a day. Oh, that'll be a piece of cake. As long as I don't lose track, it'll be fine, right? Well, wrong. Now it's really hard to focus, to get it going. I'm making progress. I'm now on 1,741 words, but damn, is it hard. But that's okay, because we're going to pull through. I'm making progress. I've already kind of discovering that you have to improvise during all this. You know, I already have a new character, Hector Cruz, and I had never planned on creating him, but he came into existence because I'm like, okay, Benedict needs to live somewhere. He needs to go somewhere. Well, where does he go? I think about it for a couple of minutes. What if he has a friend that helps him out? But what can I do to make this friend an interesting character and to kind of like challenge myself to create a new character I've never made before? So I thought about it. And then I came to the idea, wait, what if he's an old childhood friend that left because he was gay? But I don't want that to be like the main thrust of his characterization. I want him to be more subtle about it and more three-dimensional. I don't want him just to be the gay best friend and that's it. But honestly, like I said, he came into existence spontaneously. I had no plans, no idea. And what is going to happen to him and his character and how he'll change and develop, currently, I have no clue. But that's okay, because that's part of the fun and part of the challenge of just having to go. You know, planning and outlining is for people who don't have 1,667 words to write a day. And I'm already 2 days behind, because by the time I upload this video, it will be November 3rd. So I need to really pick up the pace here. And I'm honestly starting to doubt if I can make it to 50,000 by November 31st. But, you know, I can't let that stop me. I've got to try. If nothing else, I'm going to get really close enough to actually finish this novel. That's what I hope. Now, let's see. What else can I talk about? Oh, yes. If you're going to do NaNoWriMo, advice from me, and you are someone who needs an outline like crazy in October. Because when November rolls around, you're probably not going to have enough time to plan and outline anything. I did that deliberately as a way to increase the challenge and to kind of force myself to improvise and write characters and situations that I normally wouldn't write, like this gay best friend. You know, I had no plans for him, and I have no idea how he's going to go, but he's a character I've never written for before, and a character type I've never had before. So I kind of am curious to see what I'm going to do. I'm writing purely by instinct, and I have to admit I'm enjoying the process. Although between school and work, I've already fallen way behind. But that's okay. Just gonna keep going. Tell me how you're doing in your NaNoWriMo down in the comments. And if you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for my dramatic reading in English. Benedict Clemente looked out the window of the city bus and wonders, what the hell is he doing here? Moving from California to Miami, Florida, on the brief hope of turning over a new leaf. Just like that? No, that didn't happen just like that. As the bus takes a left turn, Benedict sees the airport start to fade away and drift into a sea of traffic and rainwater. His heart clenches, realizing he didn't know where he was or where he was going. He pulls out the bus map and clutches it like a talisman that will protect him from harm, although he knows better than that. He obsesses over the map, checking the roads as he passes by, then double-checking them with the blue ink on the protective ward of a map. One by one, the stops come and go. Strangers enter and leave the bus, completely unaware of Benedict's inner turmoil, as fear and hope battle for supremacy in his mind. Finally, he arrives at his destination, gets off the bus. He sprints underneath the roof of a bus stop and collects himself. Reaching into his pockets, he pulls out his cell phone and dials his old friend, Hector Gonzalez. It was Hector who had invited him to come thousands of miles from home. He was a childhood friend who he had recently gotten back in touch with and offered him a place to stay, telling him he knew where to find cheap apartments and efficiencies in Florida that he could rent and start over from scratch. Also, he worked at a supermarket and could put in a good word for him. He was looking at a life of financial hardship, but it would be enough to put a roof over his head and food on his plate. On top of that, with his test scores and associate's degree, he could get financial assistance to help pay for college without running himself into bankruptcy as soon as he graduated, and would only need to pay for 2 years to get his bachelor's degree. He was determined to make his dreams come true, no matter what his parents and family back home thought of it. The phone rings and rings and rings, and then goes to voicemail. No, don't do this. He had nowhere else to go, nowhere else to sleep. If he couldn't reach Hector, he'd be lost in a city of faceless, nameless strangers, and would have no choice to sleep like he was homeless. And with a horrible realization, he understood he was homeless. More than 1,000 miles from home, no mama or papa to help him. He had to stand on his own 2 feet. He didn't know if he was ready. Before the full weight of adult life could crush him like a can of empty soda, his guardian angel steps in. His phone rang, and the caller ID read Gato. Oh, thank God it was Hector. He answered the phone. Sorry, I was in the bathroom. Are you at the bus stop? Yes, Hector. Hey, Hector, are you really going to rent an apartment for me? We could, but I've been thinking about it. I just broke up with my boyfriend, and without him, I'm not earning enough money to pay for my apartment. You need a place to live, so why don't you become my roommate? Oh, well, I don't know. Hector was a good friend, but staying at the house of a gay man was something he had never done or even thought about. Benedict's train of thought is disrupted by Hector's mischievous chuckling. What, don't tell me you're afraid you'll turn gay. Don't worry, it won't be awkward, I swear. We'll just be roommates. You know me better than that, don't you? Have I ever steered you wrong? Well, no, you haven't. I just remember that we're friends and nothing more. I'm not gay, so I can't, just laying down some boundaries. You're overthinking things. Just relax. This'll all work out. Just stay there and get a bite to eat from the cha-chas. And wait for a few minutes. I'll see you soon. Hey, Hector. Yeah? Thanks for doing this for me. I really mean it. Hey, what are friends for? This world is a rough and ugly place. If we don't look out for each other, who will? I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye. Benedict's thumb presses on the end call button, and he hears the electronic chirp as the touchscreen goes black. He turns around and sees the gas station behind him. It's an unusual gas station, more like an actual store or restaurant with gas pumps attached. The words Cha-Chas emblazoned in bright red across the top, with a bronze gold outline. He walks in and looks around, and to his surprise, there is a restaurant-style counter with a menu hanging from the ceiling. He can order milkshakes, hot coffee, iced coffee, hot sandwiches, and even burritos and quesadillas. There's also more standard fare in the aisle, such as cold sandwiches and donuts, in transparent plastic containers for eating on the go. He orders a hot mocha latte and a Boston cream. Sure, it wasn't healthy, and is an explosion of pure sugar, but he needs something sweet and comforting right now. He is young, and worrying about sugar and cholesterol is a problem for future him. He stands at the pickup line, receipt in hand, as he waits for the attendant to make his hot coffee. He looks around and sees a wide variety of people. Some look friendly and laid back, others cold and rough, with a variety of skin colors and ages amongst them, all of them wrapped up in their own affairs, talking on their phones or each other, walking around, putting things into a basket, or silently waiting like him for their own orders. Benedict couldn't help feel but a little isolated and lonely. When you're in high school, you see the same kids every day. It's easy to strike up a conversation, easy to make friends. The teachers and students always acknowledge your existence and pay attention to you. But when you're an adult, you are no longer surrounded by classmates. There are no classmates anymore. No teachers to help guide and protect you. You must stand on your own and make your own decisions about your life. But what if you choose wrong? What if you do need help? Everyone is a stranger. Everyone is the protagonist of their own story. And you are an unimportant, nameless background character in so many lives. 405, 405, I have an order for 405. Benedict shakes off his existential crisis for a moment as his mind is brought back down to earth. Oh, that's me, thank you, ma'am. He grabs his mocha latte and his donut from her hands and guides himself to a table. He starts to drink his coffee alone, feeling so awkward. Who eats at a table all by themselves? Well, he did now. His phone dings and he reaches it into his pocket. It's a text message from Hector. Where are you right now? Benedict replies, here at Chacha's, just eating. Cool. Just relax there for a bit. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. Okay, see you soon. Benedict puts his phone back. He hopes Hector wasn't driving while texting, and listens to the rain softly pelting the roof and windows. The palm leaves swaying as the leaves play with them. He thinks back to what he left behind, his family and home. He wanted a new start, to open up his own restaurant, but his parents rejected his dream. It's too expensive to open up a small business. You'll get into debt and bankruptcy, and only a small percent of small businesses survive their first year or two. Besides, you are no leader, you're no boss. Your employees will walk all over you, and you don't know what you're doing. He is terrified that they are right, that he's doomed to fail, but he is trapped between two demons of fear, and both are beating the daylights out of him. One beats him while yelling, "Who do you think you are? This won't work, and you'll end up thousands of dollars in debt, living in a cardboard box under a bridge. You should listen to mom and dad and pick something more practical." The other demon yells, "If we don't do this, we're failures, losers. How can we live with ourselves? What is the meaning of our life if we don't do this?" Two contradictory fears tormenting him. If one wins, the other loses. Benedict knows that sooner or later, something will have to give. He'll have to choose which fear to listen to. The gas station opens with an electronic bell sound, and a young man of 19 or 20 enters. His dark autumn brown hair with a light 5 o'clock shadow. He hasn't shaved in a few days, that's for sure. The man looks around and his eyes locked on Benedict and walk towards him. "Oh my God, Benny, it's been too long. How have you been?" Benedict stood up and the two hugged and smiled. "I've been good, just scared senseless. I can't believe I'm here and doing this." "Don't worry about it, you'll do it. You're like the smartest guy I know. And you're a hard worker, so it'll work out. Grab your stuff and let's go." The two left and got into Hector's blue sedan. It was a lot nicer than Benedict was expecting. How did he afford this working at a supermarket? Was he the manager or something? Benedict knew better than to be nosy or to look a gift horse in the mouth, so he kept his mouth shut. They drove off towards Hector's place. "So, how's everything going? You told me you broke up with your boyfriend. You doing okay?" "Yeah, I broke my heart into a million pieces. But that was a couple of months ago. Looking back, I should have seen it coming. He never could turn down a handsome face and a winning smile. A faint paint smile on his face as he turns the radio to classic 90s. A few months ago. How have you been surviving? I've got a side gig that helps make the difference. Sometimes the money is so good, I think I should quit my supermarket job and do it full time. Well, that's it for day 1 of NaNoWriMo on the 3rd of November. God, I need to do some serious catching up. But stay tuned to find out whether I can or whether I can. If you are also participating in NaNoWriMo, give me a like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen, and good luck in your own NaNoWriMo quests.